Hello, and welcome to Appleton Engaged. I'm your host, Timber Smith, Special Assistant to the Mayor for Community, Culture, and Belonging.
And I'm Sarah Schneider, Mobility Manager with Valley Transit.
And Appleton Engaged is a podcast that explores the many people, organizations, and resources that make our community a great place to live, work, and play. So whether you're a longtime resident or just getting to know Appleton, join us as we learn more about our community together.
All right, Timber, here we are. It is
Podcast Day.
So we're just going to get that right out of the way right away because I know we're having a good day.
Facts.
It's true. A little giddy today.
Yes.
But I want to start by asking our Appleton Engaged listeners to lean in with an open mind because as soon as we introduce today's guest and topic, I think they may have an emotional reaction.
Yes, but you know what? No matter what it is, we're going to end in a positive place on it, and that's for sure, because I don't think people truly understand the importance of not only our guest, but the things that our guest makes happen.
To steal your word, facts.
Facts. All right. So this week's guest is Hilary Pattermann, Parking Utility Manager for the City of Appleton.
Hello.
How are we doing, Hilary?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
Hey, we are happy to have you here. But before we go any further, let's just take a moment and let me ask, can you please tell us a little something about yourself and your association with Appleton and the surrounding Fox Cities region?
Yeah, definitely. So I actually didn't grow up here. I grew up in Platteville, Wisconsin, ended up attending UW-Oshkosh for college, happened to meet my husband in the area, and just kind of fell in love with Appleton. 3 years ago, I ended up accepting a job in public works, managing budgets, which is not always the most fun thing to do, but
necessary.
Very necessary, very important for our public works team. So I managed that. And just about a year ago, I accepted the role as parking utility manager. And here we are. So yeah, just love the area, raising our family here. And the community is amazing.
All right. Well, let me give you this across the studio high five for being a Titan.
Yes.
And let me give you a studio high five for being a City of Appleton colleague.
Yes.
Oh, facts.
Yes.
Yes. This is a hardcore City of Appleton episode going on right here.
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be an amazing one. So, Hilary, can you please tell us about your resource?
Yeah, definitely. So we are making some big changes in parking. So I am in charge of all of downtown parking and also enforcement. So got a fun question for you guys. Do you know how many parking spaces that we manage?
Wait, who's interviewing who in this episode? You didn't give us the talking points for that, Hilary.
Oh, was I supposed to
So
do that?
no, I can't even guess. I'll throw one out there. 2,500.
Well, you know what? I am all about trivia. And I'm going to go just a little bit. I'm going to pull a Bob Barker. Like if this was The Price is Right, I'm going to go a little bit lower than you. All right. And then I'm going to go with 2,000.
All right. So you guys are close. With just the ramps that we have, which we have 3 ramps in downtown Appleton. We have red, green, and yellow. I know, kind of fun, stoplight colors, right? We have about 2,800 stalls that we operate and maintain and actually own ourselves here for the City of Appleton.
2,800?
2,800. And that's just the parking ramps. We actually also manage 1,200 parking stalls in Appleton as well. We stay busy.
Okay, wow. That's a lot.
We have a lot of parking.
So that's like 5,000 parking slots. Is my mathing?
Getting there. Getting there.
Yeah, all right.
Close.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they all have parts and have money and technology.
They do.
And posts. I can imagine that could be a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. But I have an amazing team that helps manage that. Small but mighty. We're just a team of 10. So,
well, Let's talk about that because I do think one of the things like parking is one of those invisible necessary needs, right? Because without parking, how do you come and support the community? How do you visit things that you like to visit? How do you participate in these great events that we have here in the city of Appleton? But that's a lot of parking spaces. How does that work, trying to manage all of that?
I don't want to say it's easy because I know it now, but it is easy. We definitely are trying to make it fair and accessible for everyone. So that's the goal. The easier that parking is, the faster someone can find where parking is located, the more successful and the more they will enjoy coming downtown and possibly coming back. So I always joke that when you're driving in the car with your spouse and you're looking for a parking spot, it can get a little heated in the car every once in a while because you're not sure where to go if there's not enough signage. And that's something that is important for my job to understand and continue to improve for downtown Appleton so we can make it a good experience for those guests or even residents, business owners, employees coming downtown Appleton to be parking and using our facilities.
Hilary, you just made me feel so seen. And I mean that in the sense of you're right. Like, if you can't find a parking spot and do it in such a way, it can ruin the whole experience because then you're just starting from a challenged place.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
So how long can you park for? And is there some science behind that time frame for purposes of turnover or just it makes sense based on the
You got
time?
it. Yep, you said it perfectly. Turnover is important. So we have a lot of different options downtown Appleton depending on your needs and the purpose of you coming downtown. So let's keep it simple. We'll say College Avenue is just very known, right? It's our downtown. There's lots of shopping, there are businesses. So the reason that we have metered parking on College Avenue specifically with a 2-hour limit is for turnover purposes. And I'll give you an example of how that looks in the industry for us is, again, we're trying to make this accessible and fair for everyone. If we didn't have a limit or if we charge very high rates, someone could park there for a very long time, and that would limit the customer base or who's visiting, say, your local coffee shop, right? So if I'm a business owner, well, yeah, of course I want prime parking, and I'm going to get there first because I'm here at 5 a.m. because I'm getting everything roasted and set for the day. Well, now you're not allowing for someone else to use that spot. And so that is the goal to achieve is the turnover and allow somebody else to park there to be able to visit those businesses. Now, if it's something that you're going to be downtown for a longer period of time, that's where the ramps come into play. So longer time frames, a lower cost to pay for parking. We offer monthly permits, especially for a lot of times we have our business owners that like to pay for their employees to park downtown. Makes it simple. They can come in and go. They can park where they need to. It's covered, which is fantastic. Sometimes we have hail, so everyone wants to park in the ramps when there's hail. And so that's a good option for someone coming down for a longer period of time. And then we also consider the ramps as overflow when the streets are very busy and packed, depending on activities that are happening downtown. So yeah, definitely a lot of options available to our parkers. And then if you park further out, it's a little bit cheaper because it's more of a walking distance. So it can be more cost effective.
Now you've got my wheels turning in 1,000 directions, so I'll try to keep my questions organized. You said the word accessibility, so talk to me about accessibility from the standpoint of people with like the handicap stickers or disabled stickers that give them special parking anywhere else.
Yeah, definitely. And that's, and it can tie into enforcement as well. But if you do have a handicap placard that you're able to display, you can park at any of the gray meter stalls, gray or black, whatever you see, for any length of time. So that allows for that user to find, hopefully, a place that would be nearest the location that they're looking to visit. And so, again, we try to keep those open, and that ties into our enforcement as well. We take enforcement of our handicap spaces very seriously, and it is a very high fine. I don't know if you guys know the dollar amount of the fine for a handicap.
You want to play Prices Right, Timber?
Oh, yeah. Here you go again.
Okay, are we talking about the ticket fine?
The ticket fine, yes.
I'm going to go $250.
I'm going to raise that to $300.
Ding, 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 ding. $300. And there is a
That's
reason
a pain
for that.
point right there.
Ooh,
It hurts, and it hurts
a little
for
bit.
a reason. You need to have those spaces available for when those people need them. And that is why it's so steep. And we take it very seriously. So
I got to say, I do appreciate that. Maybe a little bit as a mobility manager, but honestly, somebody who had surgery a couple times and I had to, or didn't know that was something that I had available to me. And I had to go from the red ramp all the way down past the PAC where there wasn't parking and is a bigger stretch. Oh, that was awful on crutches. Just awful.
Yeah.
Even though it was temporary, I was like, wow, I have a whole new appreciation for people who need that accessibility. So that selfishly is where my question came from.
yeah, no, totally understandable. And we are trying to protect that for the people that really do need that. So, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I want to talk about the parking. And like I've noticed, I personally love the fact that we have an app that we can use to pay for parking with meters. But I also notice if you are that person and you're sitting with a cup holder full of change, that is still a possibility to pay for your parking. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Yep. So we still maintain 735 meters. And then we do also have our Passport app to be able to pay through the app, which is very convenient because you can actually keep your information stored through the app and make a quick transaction, especially if you're coming down frequently and need to do that and don't have the change sitting in your car readily accessible. But we also do offer the meters as well. So that is a nice option. I will say my kids, they still love to throw a couple of quarters in that meter head because it's just kind of fun. It's old school, but they do cost a lot to maintain. And we do have meters that break down. So if it's something where you're at a meter and it's not working, please call us. Please report it. We are happy to take care of that. We are not out here to take your money. We truly, truly want a working and functioning system. And we also don't want to write you a citation. Just pay for your parking and we'll all be happy.
I love that you said that the app is convenient, but it is also the reality that not everybody has technology.
Yep.
So it is a great benefit that there is the choice.
Yes. Yep.
So I got a question about the Passport app, and I've had people ask me this. So when you initially purchase your first, let's say your first time limit, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's an hour, I actually think you can only pay up to maybe 2 hours, if I'm correct.
Yeah, typically.
Are you able to then re-up that, or does it force you to have to move it after the 2 hours? 2 hours is the limit that you can re-up to.
Yeah. Yep. So the goal is to have you move.
Right.
Again, it ties back to that turnover aspect. So if you are expecting to be there for a longer time frame, we would just ask for you to find the appropriate parking space for the time frame that you think you're going to be downtown. So that's where, yes, you can extend your time if you needed to. But again, we do enforce those 2 hour time limits, and our enforcement vehicle is able to track those type of things.
I have a question about the Passport app because this is something I always wonder. So I'll pay for my hour or 2 hours, and I'm in and out in 30 minutes. So does that next person benefit? Like if I put an hour in with coins and it had a timer on it, somebody could pull up and be like, oh, good, I just landed 20 minutes for free. How does that work with the app?
It could, but if that next person is looking to log into the app to pay for that session, and it will show that it's not available because it thinks you might be still in that location. So.
I haven't hit that. Yeah. That's so interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. We're always trying to dive into different options and features, and that's something that we have a rep through our Passport to offer different and new features.
What are myths or misunderstandings that people have about parking?
I will say the biggest myth of parking is that our enforcement has citation quotas, so parking ticket quotas, and we do not. That is not something that we function off of. There is no threshold based on the number of citations. Certainly when we tie back into budget, we do have an estimated budget revenue number based on the number of citations. But that is people complying or not complying. But we are not after people. The goal of parking enforcement is truly to make it fair. Again, keeping that turnover piece, right? Accessible, talking about handicap parkings, making sure that we have clear drive lanes for our emergency vehicles. That's very important. Loading zones so that our downtown can function very well. We have a lot of businesses, like a lot of deliveries, making sure that they're in and out and people aren't using those loading zones improperly. And then also the big one, safety within school zones. So making sure that people are parked appropriately. There are visible ways to be able to see kids near a crosswalk, things like that. So yeah, that's what parking enforcement is for. We are not out there to rack up a number of tickets. We truly are trying to make a positive environment. It may not seem or feel that way when you receive that parking citation, but if you're able to follow those signs and parking rules, you're fine.
So once again, Appleton Engaged listeners, no quotas.
No quotas.
They're not out to get us.
That's right.
We're not.
And
we're
is there
happy to answer questions and help you learn.
which I love.
Yes.
So that would lead me to my next question, which is, what is the going rate of a parking ticket? And do they climb? Because I've been in some cities where they get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, certainly. So a lot of times the tickets can range from $8, which is our lowest parking citation, which is a meter ticket. So parking, not paying for your parking. Those do escalate over time. So if you're a habitual non-payer, it's way cheaper to just pay the fee in the meter. So just keep that in mind. It's $1 an hour, so you're good. And then, yeah, it can jump all the way up to $300, which is a handicap citation, which, again, we will hand those out, but we don't love to see that, right? We just want everyone to follow those parking regulations.
Do you have a recommendation for people when, let's say, the streets are full, we have major events, you said the ramps are overflow, how can somebody, apart from Valley Transit, I'll just put that plug in there, maximize the opportunities to access downtown, especially during those big events? That's probably almost a deterrent to people coming down for big events.
Yes. Yep. I will say one of our ramps, the yellow ramp that's actually right by Valley Transit, is very underutilized. So that means we have plenty of parking and you can get in and out and you can kind of avoid the crowds because it's an entry point, if you will, into downtown if you're on that east side. So I would advise if you are coming down for a larger event, that's where I would tell you to park. If you want to be in the hustle and bustle and fight for a spot, you can go over to Red Ramp and visit it because that's typically close to the middle of downtown College. But again, there's lots of parking. We have very much a lot of availability for our guests.
I'm most familiar with the yellow ramp. I know you have 30-minute parking in there. Is that available on all the ramps so you have that quick in and out? Because I have loved that.
Yes, we do have that option within the ramps. But yeah, a lot of people, once they park in the ramp, that makes them feel less rushed. So when you're on the street, you're constantly keeping in the back of your mind, I only have 2 hours and I got to move my car. I got to get back out to my car. I got to plug the meter. Parking in the ramp makes it simple. You pull a ticket when you come in and you use our brand new kiosk to scan and pay on exit.
Let's talk about this brand new kiosk.
Yeah, we're so excited.
And, Hilary, I feel like you just told people my secret fishing hole with the yellow ramp because you are so right. I never have a problem when there are major events in downtown Appleton getting a parking spot in the yellow ramp. And I get in and out fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So speaking of the brand new kiosk that we're able to offer, it does make the flow of traffic when it is quite busy go a lot faster. So features of our new kiosk is you actually scan your ticket on the kiosk. It will prompt you to pay. And we actually have tap to pay. We have chip and tap. We have Google Pay. And then if you want to pay cash, we actually have kiosks within the elevator lobbies that you can pay on the way of your exit. So
That's pretty savvy.
Yeah, we try to accommodate everyone.
And where do we get these ideas? Is that trending across the United States? Are we pioneering new and emerging technologies? Where do you get your knowledge to bring it to Appleton so we benefit from that? Because that's cool.
Yeah, it is really awesome. So me personally, I'm super new to the parking industry. I've been in parking for a whole year. That's it. So it's not me personally, but we are really striving to meet industry standards. And something that we have recently been involved in is IPMI, which is an International Parking and Mobility Institute. So they bring professionals from all over the world that come together and share their great ideas. They pull vendors. We have speaking sessions and just try to understand the industries that we're in, because a lot of public parking municipalities are struggling, right? We don't have open budgets or pocketbooks to be able to fund these really cool projects. And so sometimes we have to do what we can to accommodate, the ever-growing need for technology that people are wanting from us. So we definitely are trying to keep involved in that industry and, be involved.
So parking's, I would imagine, for the purpose of this podcast, not necessarily something humane or human, but I bet you have stories that you could help our Appleton Engaged listeners maybe better identify with the value of parking or what the city is doing to provide parking.
Yeah, definitely. So I am trying to bring a positive light to parking for sure. It was never maybe necessarily known that even the city of Appleton owned these ramps, right? Our names aren't slapped on the outside of them, but the goal is to really keep public parking fair for everyone. And also making sure that they can find the public parking that they need. And recently we did a launch of a marketing campaign. We're actually now Park Appleton. So very fitting, Park and Appleton. So here we are. But pulling that all together so that everyone can see us, so we can market it. They know we're here to offer the best deal for parking and really meet their needs when they're coming downtown.
Great answer.
Is there any upcoming events or engagement opportunities so people can learn more or engage parking in any kind of way?
So something that we are heavily involved in is one of our biggest events downtown is Oktoberfest. Love Oktoberfest. I think maybe you guys all as well come down for it.
Love
it's
it.
Crazy down here. It is such a vibe. And so parking is, I don't want to say the most important because I'm sure everyone would disagree and say the beer is the most important. However, if we can't serve parking that day, it turns into an utmost disaster. And so very much my goal, and we did very well last year working with our Appleton Police Department, is making very good traffic flows, marketing where people can park, again, pushing people to use that yellow ramp because it's an easy in and out, kind of away from all the busyness in the center of downtown. And just it's making it an easy, fun event for everyone. And they're not dwelling on the mishap that they had when they were in the parking ramp or what have you that day. So, yeah, it is fun for us, and staff gets to be on site that day, and it's a good time.
I'm sure that keeps everybody on their toes, as well as all the other events.
Oh, yes.
So we appreciate that.
I want to ask about, because you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of businesses down here, and those businesses have employees, and we've got some new businesses who are coming into downtown Appleton who are definitely going to need their fair share of parking. How does long-term parking or permitting work?
So we do offer for our downtown businesses, we have monthly permits. So that allows the employee to have an access badge into the ramp of their choosing to be able to get in and out easily. And that way they're not paying every day, and it's very cost effective. So our daily parking rate is $6 a day, but our monthly permit is $40. So you can already see the cost savings, even if you come down for less than a week and a half and it's already paid for itself. Something else that we do offer for anyone, really, but a lot of our local businesses downtown take advantage of this. They like to pay for their either employees or their customers' parking to offer a discount, and we provide validations. So what that looks like is they would validate that person's parking ticket from the ramp when they would visit their office or stop in, whatever it would look like. And then that user would be able to get out of the ramp by just scanning it on the system, and the gate would open for them. So it's a really cool opportunity to be able to show appreciation to your customer, to be able to pay for their parking and say, thank you for coming downtown, dealing with the hustle and bustle sometimes that people don't enjoy doing, and free parking for whoever they'd like to offer it to.
I think that's an amazing opportunity right there.
Yeah.
I was going to say that is an excellent question, Timber, and that made me think of another question. Sometimes I come downtown and there's a bag over the meter for special event parking or anything at all. Is there something special someone has to do to have space for potentially a business moving in, or just, I imagine, for a longer term?
Or maybe a bus coming.
Or that.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, we see it all the time. Obviously, some of these larger vehicles aren't going to be able to park in certain areas, and we've also seen a lot of development downtown, which we love to see it. And so they need space to be able to place dumpsters or park those buses. So we do offer meter bags, and you would contact Public Works Department, and they would review a permit for you and issue a meter bag. So my staff would go out, place those on the meter bag, and it would be reserved for that designated time.
Not Hilary's personal phone number, but
not Hilary's personal phone number. I don't even have my own meter bag as parking utility manager, but maybe I should work on that.
I like that.
Maybe. So is there anything the community can do, Hilary? What advice would you have for us and the Appleton Engage listeners to be helpful so that parking can be for everybody?
Yeah, definitely. Again, I want to tie it back to just really paying attention to those parking regulations, following the rules, and being aware of those individuals that truly maybe need those spaces for accessibility. But again, we're trying to make this fair for everyone and ask questions. We're so happy to help. If you see my enforcement officers out on the street, feel free to wave them down. Again, they're not going to hand you a ticket out on the street. So we want to help you learn. We want to be involved in the community, and we really want to shift public parking to be a positive thing.
Yes, I definitely want to give a shout out to your team. Your team is cool.
They're
cool. Super cool.
They rock it.
Who or how can people reach out if they need to learn more or if they've got questions?
Yeah, definitely. You can visit the website. Brand new logos on there now, too, as well for Park Appleton, but appletonwi.gov/parking. We have a lot of information out on our website, and we love hearing feedback. If there's more information that you'd like for us to share about parking, feel free to reach out. There is a contact us on there as well, and I usually get heavily involved in helping answer questions or navigating solutions for an event or construction, what have you, downtown. So please do that.
Are there any last things that you would like to share with the Appleton Engage listener that maybe we didn't ask a question about today?
I just really hope that everyone keeps an open mind about parking. I think we typically get a bad rap because everyone sees parking and parking enforcement as the negative, but we're really, truly one of the most important pieces to a thriving downtown. And we are trying to do it well for the community so that we can continue to grow and thrive down here and support our local businesses so that they're not going somewhere else to have that business. So, yeah.
Well, this is the time in the Appleton Engage podcast that you get to pay tribute. So who would you shout out, Hilary?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm going to give a big shout out to my team. They have worked day in and day nights. They put a lot of effort, especially with our new implementation for our kiosks. And they're awesome. Positive attitudes all the way around, even though we get some hard feedback sometimes. So they are amazing. And then I also want to shout out to Appleton Downtown Inc. They have been a great partner for us in supporting our goals within parking, and all of their events that they support obviously helps us as well. So we're continuing to partner with them just to keep things moving and everyone happy when they come down for all these special events.
Well, Hilary, at this time, on behalf of myself and Sarah and the Appleton Engaged listeners, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Appleton Engaged listeners, thank you for giving us your minds and ears. Thank you for caring about another amazing resource, helping to make our community a better place. I can't discount the importance of quality parking. I don't know about you, but I've been in scenarios where I really wanted to go to something and I was so excited to go to it with my family, and then we couldn't find parking, or trying to find parking was such an experience that it just kind of turned us off from the whole event that we were trying to make it to. So the fact that we have all of this amazing parking and the fact that we have this amazing team trying to make it as accessible and thoughtful as possible is just really, really cool. Appleton Engaged listeners, you already know what I'm going to say. We are trying to become the #1 podcast in Northeast Wisconsin, and we can't do that without your help. So what does that look like? Well, while you're listening to this and you're thinking, Timber, you should have asked this question. Sarah, you should have done this. Well, you should let us know. Or maybe you're saying, I know a really cool organization or a cool topic or a cool person that should come sit in the Appleton Engaged chair. Well, you should let us know. And you can let us know by emailing us at belonging@appletonwi.gov. Once again, that is belonging@appletonwi.gov. Also, we are firm believers here that this is a pretty amazing resource. And we think an informed community is a stronger community and a community that feels like you can belong there. So we think if we get more listeners from the community, it really does help our community be better. But we need your help. It's called analytics. So while you're listening and you see these buttons, if it says subscribe, press it. If it has stars, give us 5. And if there's an opportunity to leave us a review, do it. These are all things that increase our analytics. And the better our analytics are, the more community members learn about this amazing resource known as the Appleton Engaged podcast.
And Timber said the words, we want the Appleton Engaged listeners to be better informed. And as much as this may not be one of those episodes that is inspiring us to action, it is so much more valuable to be informed. And what I took away from Hilary's sharing today is that we want parking in downtown Appleton to be teamwork. We all want to be there for one another and make parking accessible for all. It's who we are in Appleton. And we all love our downtown and all the events that take place. So until next time, stay thoughtful, stay curious, and stay engaged.